What is happening, my YT gang? Y'all already know what time it is. We are back with another one, you did. And today we just gonna go ahead and talk about it, man. The Philadelphia Eagles found the way to get the win against the LA Rams, man. It was a game to see. A very close game. They both came out scoring on the first drive. Defense stepped up when it was time for them to. And it was just a great game, man. Like I said, you know, on the defensive side, you had my boy Jalen Carter causing havoc. Georgia boy, you already know what time it is, in which he got 2 sacks. I can't remember if he got the forced fumble on Williams or not, but I know he got a forced fumble on my boy Matthew Stafford. Then on the other side of the field, man, you had my boy Jared, man. He was going crazy. Philadelphia don't like him. They booed him all game long, and it was only because of the fact that he was causing havoc, man. He put pressure on my boy Jalen Hurts 24/7. All game long. The Eagles kind of took a lot of pressure off of Jalen Hurts by giving the ball, feeding the ball to my boy Saquon Barkley for the rest of the game. But I mean, he did a couple of play actions, but still, you could tell he wasn't mobile. He wasn't mobile at all. And after finding out that he had that knee brace on for the rest of the night, I'm kind of interested in seeing if he gonna heal or recover by the time it's time for him to play against Washington. But that's just something to see and keep an eye on. Now, when it comes to my boy Saquon Barkley, y'all already know how I feel about my boy Saquon, though. I done talked about him all season long. I said he was the MVP at a point in time. Of course, now I got my boy Lamar Jackson, and I know it's a lot of Josh Allen fans out there that want to say that he's the MVP. Well, it's debatable, okay? It's debatable. But right now, I got my boy LJ, hands down. But back to my boy Saquon Barkley, man. That boy went crazy. He took the Philadelphia Eagles and put them on his back single-handedly and won the game for them folk, man. That boy Saquon Barkley had 11 carries for 94 yards and a touchdown in the very first half, my boy. In which one of them carries he went 62 long. 62 yards and one. My boy Jalen Hurts also got one big drive, man, in which I think he did like 40-some yards on that thing. It was like the very first drive, too, at that. So when you look at the rushing yards for the first half between my boy Saquon Barkley and my boy Jalen Hurts, because Jalen Hurts had 67 yards in the first half. You understand what I'm saying? My boy Saquon had 94 yards in the first half. And another fun fact for y'all. They are the very first teammates to both have a 40-plus rushing touchdown in the same playoff game in Super Bowl era. So with both of their yards combined in the first half, they had a total of 171 rushing yards together, in which the Rams have not allowed that since 2019 in the very first half, even with them stacking the box. 8 people in the box, and they still couldn't get that job done. Oh, my gosh. But all in all, man, look, man, that man is a different animal. To have 2 big plays in this game, to where he rushed for over 40-plus yards in both of those plays, it's just crazy, bro. I mean, y'all know how I feel about my boy Saquon, like I said, man. And I'm still upset that they didn't let him get that record, but we'll leave that there. I ain't even going to get into that right now. But my boy ended with 26 carries for 205 yards and 2 touchdowns tonight. And some of y'all may not know this, man, but the 205 yards that he got tonight is the 5th best rushing total in postseason history. So not only is this man making history in the regular season, he also doing it in the postseason. Shouts out to my boy Saquon, though, man. But when it comes to the Rams, man, it's not like they had a bad game. They didn't. That boy Matthew Stafford, I think he had like 324 yards with 2 touchdowns. I think Williams had, I can't remember how many carries he had, but he had over 100 yards, a little over 100 yards. I think it was like 106 yards. I don't think he ain't scored no touchdown, though. And then Puka Nacua, he was kind of quiet. He was kind of quiet all game long, but he came alive in the nighttime. You know what I'm saying? The second half was his, especially with that big catch he made on the sideline where he caught that thing on his shoulder like that, boy, put them toes down on y'all, boy. So he ended with 6 receptions for 97 yards. But Puka wasn't the only one struggling tonight. You get what I'm saying? Because once it started snowing out there, we seen a lot of drop passes out there. We seen a lot of routes that wasn't being ran fully. And at that point, that's when the game became a running one. And whoever was going to be able to develop their running game successfully was going to be the team that win. And as we all saw, the Philadelphia Eagles was that team to be able to run the ball successfully, in which it helped them win the game. Like I said, man, they didn't play bad. They didn't play bad at all, man. I think a couple of plays cost them, like the fumble. both fumbles, to be honest with you. The fumble when it came to Matthew Stafford, and then also the fumble when it came to Williams. So who knows how that game would have came out if it wasn't for those two mistakes. Because after the Eagles recovered that fumble that Williams did, they was already in the red zone pretty much. You get what I'm saying? In which the defense showed up. They stepped up and made a big play. I think the Eagles was about to do the whole tush push or whatever the case may be, which they got in, but because it was a false start, they got pushed back 5 yards, from which it only results to 3 points. But at the end of the day, the Eagles defense stepped up at the end, prevented them boys from getting in that end zone, man, and that's how they won the game. So it is what it is. I'm really interested in seeing what's going to happen when they play against Washington, because that boy, Jaden Daniels, he is on fire right now. I don't really see the Eagles stopping him. But then the question will also be, who's going to stop Saquon Barkley? I don't think Washington is good enough defensively to stop my boy from getting 100+ yards. And if he get 100+ yards, Eagles going to win. The only way Washington is going to win is if they stop my boy. If they find a way to stop my boy Saquon from getting 100+ yards, the Eagles are in trouble. The Eagles in trouble. Because as of lately, man, I don't know if y'all see it, but I see it. My boy Jalen Hurts ain't getting it done when it comes to the passing game. He just not, man. I'm looking at a couple of throws that he's been making, and they off. They off. He overthrowing. But like I said, man, we shall see. And I'm going to be here for it. You did.